creators, the early adopters that have been with us for since January. So Interstellar is one of those groups, and Kristian has definitely been at the forefront to carve out this really interesting dynamic way of organizing. So yeah, today we're gonna lay back, have some coffee, and chat with Kristian at the head of Interstellar Alliance. Our co-host today is Santi. Everyone knows Santi in the community. Santi is one of our most fanatic. I think he has his own memes. He has his own multiple servers. I think people are making NFTs for him at this point. I mean, Santi is just out there killing it. If you don't know Santi, Santi's our community lead. I'm Chief Revenue Officer at Star Atlas. We're a really close knit family group here, and yeah, happy to be sharing space with you today. We have a lot of things happening this week, so stay tuned to our social media channels. Mainly Twitter, and here in Discord or Telegram. But yeah, we'll get started today. Today we're going to share some space with Kristian from Interstellar Alliance, and we're going to take a deep dive into the world of Interstellar Alliance. There's a lot of things that we'd love to learn more about, from everything from how did everything start, how did you find out about Star Atlas, to, getting into deep of like what type of partnerships have already been formed, and, how does the organizational structure look like? What are the future plans? And so we'll ping pong back and forth through the discussion. We can leave some time towards the end for some Q&A. So if you guys have, and girls, or have any questions, please feel free to step up and get in line. But yeah, Santi, why don't you get us started with the first question there?
Sorry, man, got stuck on mute. So yeah, I'm searching for the questions right now. Sorry, and we have some good questions for you, Kristian. I tried to listen to the. I think you guys got like a town hall yesterday or something like that.
Yes, we had our first meeting.
Nice. I wasn't able to make it, so we're going to ask you the questions today. And let's start with the first one, and it is, how did you find about Star Atlas? How did you find out about Star Atlas?
Actually, it was an accident. I was just entering in this one space at that time, and I was trying to learn as much as possible because I was seeing the importance of the protocol. It's literally the first proof of history protocol, so that's actually amazing technology and very unique. It can be used for different purposes. And while I was scrolling, I was checking, I saw that there is many different projects, and it was so early on. And I saw the Star Atlas just being formed, and they shared their Discord at that time, and I joined it in. And I remember that I was probably one of the first 20-30 people probably inside the Star Atlas Discord, and I was very intrigued with it. I never really played any blockchain games at that time, so I was really curious what you guys are going to do. So I began to study the white paper, and I read it from top to bottom five times, and I right away understood what the team behind this thing is trying to create, and the opportunities that will create. Just like everybody expecting, this will be a metaverse, and there will be a lot of connections to the real world and how it operates on financial basis, on communications, on community, and everything else. So right away, I understand that this will be just like EVE Online, but with a lot more better economy built in for the game and for all of the assets that will be sold and will be built inside. So I was thinking that it would be a really great idea if guilds are being formed from early on and begin to cooperate, because I'm well aware how nations are being built, from history. There was first tribes, then they begin to cooperate with different tribes, and that's why they managed to make their nations. It wasn't the strongest that survived or the most intelligent ones, but those that were able to cooperate and adapt to the constantly changing environment. And actually, I remember that I was the one who proposed the youth recruitment channel to be created in Staratos. Just because of this reason, I knew that people will have to cooperate early on, build their foundation, and being able to create partnerships, tools, all kinds of things that we can create and expand the metaverse as much as possible, because I don't really consider it only responsibility of the developers behind the project, but also the people who are part of it and the people who are going to play and enjoy the space.
Yeah, thank you for sharing your thoughts. I remember that when I joined Star Atlas, you were already here, and I think that the Interstellar Alliance was already being formed. So you're a real OG, man, let me tell you.
Oh man, he beat you to the cake, Santi. All right,
Yeah, man.
beat you to the cake. Kristian, level set with me. When you first read that white paper, why did you want to go read it 5 times? Was it because it was like difficult to understand? or, or the amount of fireworks that were going off in your brain? I mean, what really got you going there?
I just had so many ideas that I needed to confirm again and again with the technology and the idea if it's on speculative basis if can be implemented inside. So the thing was that it was not that complicated, but I make sure that I'm properly understanding it when I'm reading it, because I'm not native speaker. I actually never studied English in school or anything like this. I learned from trying to read by myself. But I think for the past 10 years, I was traveling the world and I was working all kinds of wacky jobs that helped me improve my language skills and communication skills. I think that it's extremely important. Also, I begin to write. So it's really good to be able to write your thoughts, because there is nothing different between writing and thinking. You can be able to improve your speech a little bit better. But the thing is that in the white paper, there was a lot of basic information that was good enough so you can begin the construction of your plans and ideas for the future. And I knew that because of my personal life, and I don't want to go in details about it, but I'm very interested in underlying protocols and how the world operates with them. For example, the basic IP protocol, the Internet HTTP protocols, the cargo shipping size protocol that regulates the cargo containers, and all kinds of different protocols and how they are implemented in our world and allowing us to have this, colorful life. All of our goods and services that we are having is because we have those efficiency protocols that are allowing everything to move faster, cheaper, more efficient, pretty much in our world. And I knew right away that for a metaverse world, who is very similar to the real world, because you can literally implement many things which we have in that alternative reality. And I knew that we will need efficiency. And this is what most people don't understand. If you want to create a civilization inside the metaverse, you need proper transportation protocol, you need proper security protocol. How you will be defending those assets in this space if you don't have proper security structure implemented before you begin to construct? Of course, someone will come, destroy everything, take everything, and leave. But if you have security teams which can operate in an efficient way, that will be mitigated. I don't say that the risk will disappear, but for sure it will be mitigated and reduce it to as much as the teams are capable, of course. I cannot properly speculate or calculate how things will change, but I think that those protocols implemented by organizations will be extremely important.
Kristian, do you have a military background, or your family has a military background? I'm kind of kidding, but kind of not.
I'll just say that I'm Bulgarian. And, my
I,
bloodline is.
man, you are serious. The Interstellar Alliance, I think, to me, just went up a notch here. I mean, guilds are no, man, you're taking this to a whole new level. I can't I can't wait to start, maybe taking a peek at your blueprints in regards to your protocols and how you're formalizing everything. Santi, what are your thoughts, man? I mean, we're hearing Kristian here dissect the amount of protocol library catalog that he's going to have and be able to deploy across the metaverse. What are your thoughts, man?
It just blows my mind, like that all this is forming like in a natural way, in an organic way, from the community wanting to build inside Star Atlas and thinking like so in depth. It just blows my mind. It's insane.
Yeah.
I think that the most important thing in a new project is to put yourself in the road of growth. Not to look for the profits, not to look for anything else but the growth of the community and everything that they are capable of creating. Because if you put yourself in front of the growth, everything will kind of solve itself over time, but by the community and their mutual effort and pretty much everything that they desire to create. Because people need to have the desire to create and to make the proper sacrifices in order to begin the creation of all of those projects. We all saw how many new guilds were formed around the community and everything else, and I'm genuinely grateful to everybody who is putting the necessary effort, because I know how much time I'm spending each day for all of this, and I know that they are doing the same things, or at least they are doing their best, which is beautiful. And
Yeah. Talk to us a little bit more about your organizational structure. I mean, do you have something formal in place? How, what does your recruiting look like? What's the state of the state?
Pretty much at the moment we are in a pretty chill moment. Let's say it like this: the majority of the community is working on their own things, and I'm in the background. I'm creating the necessary partnership with all of those communities which are interested in supporting our ideas. For example, I'll just start with the grape community. I had similar meeting like I'm having with you now, like a couple of weeks ago, and they have extremely interesting technology or tool, I can say it, which is Grape Verify. They are calling it Grape Verify, which is pretty much identity verification through NFT. For example, I think Pablo, you were in their channel making a conversation and you were a little bit delayed, probably because you needed to verify your identity. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yep, correct. Yep.
Yeah, but I'm thinking that many people are overlooking this technology or simply not putting enough time to think about all the use case that can create. For example, now, just in the past 2 days, we created two new partnerships. One is with community called Alliance, not So Secret Society. They're pretty much an NFT P2P project, which is to create pictures like avatars for people which looks like aliens. So aliens, right? It's pretty interesting idea, but what is the cool part about it that is that they are not really making it for their only for themselves, but they will part of the funds that they will be gathering through the sale of those NFTs, 30% will go to the Galileo project, which is a Harvard initiative for extraterrestrial research and artifacts and stuff like this, which is extremely interesting thing, and especially if it's the Harvard University, everybody can understand that this is some serious research. It's not just a group of people gathering to make NFTs. And the creator of this So Aliens community is part of the research team. And this is only part of the funds will go to that project. We managed to negotiate 40% of the sales to go to the Star Atlas metaverse, which will create utility and demand for their NFTs, because all of their owners will be able to be part of this community through our Discord and through the Star Atlas metaverse. So how this will work is pretty complicated, but I'll try to explain it as best as I can. we will be building independent nations or sovereign nations in our Discord through this NFT verification protocol, which is from the Grape community, and we will be able to make special channels which only people who own the specific NFT can enter in that channel. And through this system, we are planning to create like independent nations first in our Discord, and then to deploy all of those people and the resources that will come from all of those communities inside the metaverse. And then the entire Interstellar Alliance will support their nation through the infrastructure that will be building security protocols, the transportation protocol, which is called Interstellar Stargate Network, which is the physical part which we'll be building inside the metaverse, which is pretty much multiple jump points connected to each other in different parts of the metaverse, so they can improve the efficiency of travel, safety, security, trade, pretty much absolutely everything which is considered traveling. The protocol itself, I'm calling it metaverse infrastructure protocol, which is kind of new term, which I pretty much like a lot. And we'll be focusing on similar metaverse protocols, which can increase efficiency. We also made a new partnership yesterday with the Axie Infinity community, which is very well organized. It's not some very big one, but they will be expanding in the future more. And they already have pretty good management system. And they will have teams and stuff like this, and they will be part of the security protocol, which will focus on the security teams inside our alliance, who will be supporting all of the stations, cities, and eventually entire nations which will be built inside. And this is just my speculation, but I believe that if we can create this connection through the NFT verification, identity verification protocol inside the Star Atlas metaverse, we can create utility and demand for each and every single P2P community, which are everybody's well aware. They are constantly brewing and creating more communities like the Soliet community, the Soul Aliens community, the Apes community. All of those communities will be able to join inside the metaverse and pretty much identify themselves with their NFT if they want to enter in the nation capital, for example, in the special station or motherships, or just to enter through the jump point, which will be the Stargates, specially created for those nations. I already talked with Danny, the Chief Technology Officer of Star Atlas, and he actually was mind blown by the idea, because I'm pretty sure that he very fast understand the opportunity here. We are not talking about 100, 200 people being able to come to the metaverse. We're talking for tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, depending on how much those communities are growing. If I'm not going to push Star Atlas to do anything with this technology, but if they manage to implement the Grape protocol in Star Atlas, this will be something like it's known like Cambrian explosion of life. Normally it's connected to when a lot of living species are evolving and they are just spreading all over certain land. And I think that this will be a Cambrian explosion of digital life form. All of those communities will be able to identify as whatever they want inside the metaverse, and literally take the form of the avatars that they paid hundreds of thousands of dollars or thousands of dollars or some millions of dollars, and use their avatar this way. Maybe from the start that will not be possible. But just like I said, I don't want to push the team to do anything. I'm well aware how busy you guys are, and I'll give you a shout out to everyone who's working behind the scenes. your own schedule, and you are all extremely busy, so I don't want to push it. But I'm pretty sure that if this is possible, this is just the beginning of all of the use cases that can come out of this protocol implemented inside the Staratos metaverse. One of the best things that can come out of it is on the entertainment side. For example, I'll give example with Blondish, which is a musician, and she's selling her music in NFT, right? But she also created the posters with her music, right? With her cooperation. So let's say that the protocol is implemented in the metaverse. This automatically means that she can make concerts which only people with this poster that she created the music for can join in the concert, which automatically creates utility for each and every single poster that you guys having without really doing much. Just making one partnership with one community and using their protocol. I want to just point this out. I'm doing this pro bono. Nobody pays me to connect those partnerships and communities, and I don't want anybody to pay me. The only reason I'm here is to help as many people as possible, as fast as possible, to create value for themselves. The Grape community is a really great example, and I think it's one of the best communities out there at the moment. They're having many different artists, many different designers, and all kinds of different talented people who want to create and sell their work through NFT tickets. And I think that the same tickets will be used by our entire community if anybody finds value in it, which I'm certainly that will happen. We also have a partnership with just a second, with Hubient. Yeah.
So let's unpack this, Kristian, because what I'm hearing here is that within 7 months you went from reading the white paper 5 times to creating a lot of ideas and visions and dreams to acting on said visions and dreams and interconnecting that knowledge and data source to begin structuring what potential protocols would be interesting in implementing throughout the metaverse, while at the same time creating those connections and protocols so that they could potentially be an extreme value add to the metaverse, and even potentially be standards within the metaverse. And not only this one, but maybe others outside. At the same time, you've been creating partnerships that have direct impact to the digital expansion, but also the outward expansion with Galileo projects and Harvard. And at the same time, you're formalizing these guilds and you're doing all this pro bono. I mean,
I don't really want to take out the credit for this. Many people were growing the community and everything else. So the internal growth is pushing new ideas and new connections and everything else. And I'm pretty sure that many people are contributing. I don't want to take out the credit for all of this.
No, of course. It's you and other people who are also interested in and see the potential and being a part of this network that has sparked within Stellaris. Fantastic. Fantastic. I think everyone who's listening into this, you're also potentially providing a lot of inspiration and a point of entry to even doing more research, or finding points of interest that they might want to dig into and go further into development. I think this ideation and framework around security is going to be extremely important. I mean, vital for the success of strategy. So it's really interesting that's at kind of like at the forefront of the underlying infrastructure that you're putting together for your strategy. So that's fantastic. And yeah, the Grape, the team over at Grape, they actually, I think they're connected to another program called, I want to say, it starts with a Q, I think, Unique actually, Unique. Yeah. And I know that Unique is also forming on Solana. And they have an interesting platform to be able to provide the formation of DAOs, kind of like this out of the box solution where you can also have your own tokens and things like this. So yeah, I think being able to have an open way where people can co-create like yourself with other partners is fantastic, and super excited that it's happening at Star Atlas, and then we'll evolve to other places as well. And talk to us a little bit about the future. What does the future hold for Interstellar Alliance?
I believe that what will be the most important impact that we can make is creating as much value for everybody else. Everybody realizes our world is changing. Many people are, their livelihood and their income streams all of a sudden became non-essential, whatever that means, but people are not able to create value for themselves. And one of the reasons that I came here was because I wanted to be able to create value for those people who are simply not capable of earning their living and putting food on their tables through any other way. Right? So if one day someone write me down that because of me they managed to put food on their table and their family, I'll be very proud of myself for everything I'm doing currently. And I think that it's one of the most important impacts that we can make on the general public, not only for us, but for everybody. And I think that there will be more and more partnerships in the future. Currently we have 10 different partnerships with all kinds of different communities, including this community called Hubient. There is many Filipinos there who are all kinds of content creators. They have like 1,000 YouTubers, 600 singers, musicians, like a couple of hundred of them, dancers, and all kinds of different talented people who at the moment they are not capable of performing in any way because either their place is under lockdown or they're just the place that they were working is now closed, so they are not able to work in any other way. But if we can create somehow those different types of businesses which will be managed by the different communities, I think that everybody will be able to gain entertainment, and the entertainers will be able to gain value out of it. For example, we are working on creating these teams that will be able to, for example, create a dancing ensemble or a musical or theater or whatever they can figure it out on their own. Of course, I don't say that everybody will be able to do this. You need to have the talent, the effort, the necessary sacrifices, but I'm sure that everybody can do it if they put the necessary effort. I think that over time, the metaverse can become, just like Michael say, like a place for millions and even billions of people connected and working together for various of goals. And I think that this will be one of the biggest impacts that we can make. When it comes to the Interstellar Alliance, it will be like an umbrella for those communities to manage the efficiency that they have to protect them and to be able to create more use cases and businesses inside the metaverse. I'm pretty sure that everybody will be able to do it, but just like I said, time is necessary. The necessary technology need to be in place. We cannot rush this. If we rush it, it will be bad. So we need to stay level-headed, focused, and just to slowly work and build it from the ground up. That's why I say always that we are building the foundation at the moment, and Just like Elgonach, my communication officer, said once, we're in the digital stone age at the moment. And I think that he's correct. We still don't really understand what the future will hold for us. But I think that eventually someone will invent the wheel, or someone will bring two stones, smash them together and create the spark, and that will be fire that nobody ever thought about or nobody ever created. And I think the different inventions can also happen out of this cooperation that we are creating. And I think that many different people can benefit from it on multiple levels, including education. With the great protocol, teachers will be able to just have a hall or some kind of a place where they can gather students, and students can pay for the lessons, and the teacher is more motivated then to create better content and to release proper information to the students, and he will be incentivized to do the best and to educate properly, and not just to gather the money, because the students will stop buying the NFTs that are required for his lessons. And I think that education is extremely important, even though I didn't really go much to school. But that's my personal point of view. Most schools are simply not teaching anything important. You can just go in Google or YouTube and you will learn more. But there is, of course, those specific specialized schools for different skills, which you cannot really learn just by watching YouTube. You need to go in place, meet people with experience, etc. But I think that the education part will also be huge inside the metaverse.
Beautiful, beautiful. Santi, let's get some people together for some Q&A. And as people line up for the Q&A, Santi, why don't you close us out with the last question, and then we'll start with the live Q&A.
Okay. And so the last question is, how can we improve the Star Atlas metaverse with cooperation?
I think the best way to be able to improve the metaverse is truly like a living being that is growing. You need to feed it. How do you feed it? You feed it with the effort of people. So I think that the tools that are made for like APIs that can be connected to different technologies, or for the galleries that will be built inside the metaverse, and all kinds of different tools that can be provided from the team to the developers that want to build. I think that will be one of the most important things. Of course, I'm well aware that there is a schedule for those things and they cannot be released just without any thought, because many things can go wrong if things are not properly thought before done. And I think that if there is a proper way for ideas, not just suggestions, but properly constructed ideas that are developed and already ready to go in a way, and just to the developers from Star Atlas to be able to say, okay, we can take this idea and it will cost us 1 week to make it with a small team. Other ideas might take more effort, some ideas will take less effort, but I think that if the team who is supporting this development is just going step by step, like climbing a ladder, you'll eventually climb a mountain. And that would be extremely valuable, I think. Of course, I'm well aware that those teams and those developers need to be paid, so I cannot say much about this. It needs to be considered by the team behind Star Atlas, but I think that any investment at the moment is going to pay tremendously. We are very early. I think that I would just make my personal opinion about speculative investment and profitability is easily 100x investment. I will not gonna go to a hard number, but I'm considering this 5 to 10 years project. Just like the developers, I'm not here for the 1 month or 2 months or to get quick flip on the NFTs and to leave. I'm here to build, and many people are here for this. They're supporting our ideas, and we will do our best to create as much value for absolutely everything, for everyone, not only for our Interstellar Alliance, but for everybody else who want to improve their efficiency or partnerships or have great ideas that make sense. And I think that the entire space will improve tremendously, very, very quickly. Just cooperation. That will be the most important part.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And I also want to add that it's crazy what the Interstellar Alliance is doing and what all the other guilds are doing. And I think that you guys are the ones that are pushing like the engagement, I will say, of the community. Like it's the depth that we have in the community. It's made by the guilds we have, you know. And I love what you are doing, and I always listen to you guys, to community members and guild leaders, because you always bring good ideas to the table, and you are the ones that are pushing our growth into another level.
I think that a little bit of competition and friction is really important. Like for example, when I was having a meeting with Alpha Ray from Radium, and I was there with my token developer because we also are working on our own platform for our own token distribution method, so we can pay our security teams and everybody else who want to be part of the alliance. And that will take a couple of months, of course, to develop. It will not be fast, but eventually we'll be able to make proper salaries to people who are working and putting the effort. But just like Alpha Ray said, a little bit of friction and competition is really important, because then you are pushing the communities to do better for themselves and for everybody who is part of their community. And that will also drive competition spirit and a little bit of tribalism, which is actually extremely good. People need to support their communities, and they will be bringing more value, like more investments. They will be buying more ships or more land or whatever, just to not be left behind in a way. So I think that this will drive even more growth over time.
100%. I don't know, Pablo, if you have some extra thoughts here, but we have people with their hands raised. So before we can let them in, I don't know if you can add some, if you want to add something.
Yeah, no, I mean, the only thing is, if I drink another cup of coffee to keep up with Kristian, I'm going to be doing sprints all over my house. Amazing, amazing. Yeah, let's move to questions.
Okay, let's let Sistine in. Sistine, please join the stage. Welcome, Sistine. How are you?
All right. I wasn't able to figure out where my mute button is, but yeah, thank you, Santi, for inviting me on station. It's been
We
a
can't hear you well right now.
Yeah.
Oh, is it too soft?
Yeah,
Now
better
we
now.
can
It's
hear.
better.
Now we
Oh,
can
it's
hear.
better. Okay. So yeah, thank you for being on stage. I've been part of the first IE meeting yesterday, and that 2 hours was really worth it. 2 hours of meeting with Kristian and with the rest of the IE team. And I may know a part of this question, the answer to this question, but to Kristian, in terms of gaming experience that you have in the past, Kristian, how has that influenced the vision you have, not only for IA, but for Star Atlas itself, and how you see community enablement has been at the core of that vision? So that's my question.
Thank you, Sistine. I think that one of the most important things that I learned from my gaming experience was how to be humble. There is many good players out there. There is many intelligent people who have better ideas than you, and hundreds of people will always going to think better than you. So it's very important to listen to people. When they're talking, pay attention and be respectful. I think this is really important. I also think that it's very important for every community to remember the effort that people are putting in creating the community environment and all of the amazing moments that are happening. For example, the last game that I was playing was like 3 years ago. which was Mu Legend. I was leading the strongest guild in Europe, and we were pretty much doing amazing work. But the thing is that now I'm based in Iceland, the mecca of EVE Online. And one day I hope that we'll make here big gatherings, just like the EVE community are doing it. That would be pretty cool. And I want to build a proper community, not only inside the metaverse, but outside of the metaverse. And I think that it will be extremely fun and enjoyable to one day meet most of the people who are part of this this galactic wave. Let's just say it like this, because we are out riding this wave like we're on a surf. We don't know how fast we'll be going. We don't know how deep will be the water, but we will do our best. And I think that one of our ideas to remember the effort of everyone is to create the Hall of Fame. And that will be our gallery. We are working with a couple of very talented artists which are creating our NFT for our own NFT verification gate that will be implemented this week from the Grape developers in our Discord. They'll also put our extra security and different things that will be very valuable. And I think that when we create the Hall of Fame, we will be able to give the people who were part of a war, for example, or did some deed, or they defended their positions, or something that should be saved, right? I also wrote to Michael about this idea that it would be good for one tool, which is All Star or something like this was the community, who are having this tool that can record 20 to 30 seconds videos of special moments, and you can send them from the game to the Discord, and then people will be able to make those 32 seconds videos into NFT, minted, then put it in the gallery, and that moment will be immortalized. So the effort, what you did, will never be forgotten. If you come back in 10, 20 years and you are still want to see what you did 20 years ago, your NFT will be still in this database that is in the decentralized blockchain, which will pretty much never disappear until the blockchain is, I don't know, destroyed or something like this. I don't know how that will be possible, but we never know. But I still think that it will be really important for everybody's effort to be preserved, because this is like part of history that shouldn't be changed on a whim. And from tens of thousands of years of humanity history, we forgot it extremely important information that now only old bloodlines are remembering, or just nobody cares anymore. And I think this is really sad. This is part of our civilization, which I think that need to be protected as much as possible, because without our culture, we're pretty much nobody. We're just walking around this planet. We don't know who we are, why we're here, from where we come from, how many people had to sacrifice their lives so we can live free now and be able to do whatever we are necessary to live in civilized society, if I can even call it like that nowadays. But yeah, pretty much this will be the most important, one of the most important things to preserve history and the effort of everyone.
Thank you, Kristian. Thanks, Santi. Thanks, man.
Thank you for coming, bro.
Thank you, Sistine, for the good question and for everything that you do for Stradless. You're doing a great job in Telegram, man. So, Pablo, I don't know if you have any comments.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm ready to grab my surfboard and go surfing, because we don't know how deep it is or how big the swell is going to be, right, Kristian? Amazing. You know, I think looking at the aspects of being present and sharing space when someone else is sharing knowledge is an amazing approach to life in general. And so, you know, sharing that suggestion or just feedback is well valued, especially in the metaverse, a place where we might not have that be as conditioned to live a certain life like we're living right now in this physical world. So applying new ways of interaction and value sets that are forthcoming is super important. But to get to the nitty gritty, I mean, it sounds like you are completely open sourced, and just looking for to build a completely new way of life and way of experiencing something within Star Atlas. So
Yeah,
it's amazing.
I think that one of the most important things is complete decentralization. I do not believe that one community will be able to decentralize properly their decisions making. But for example, we'll have plenty of communities that will be under the Interstellar Alliance umbrella. So they will be operating their own funds and their own communities, but they will be able to have voting power in the Alliance, what we are doing, where we are going, when we'll send our expedition teams to create the Interstellar Stargate Network and everything else. And I think that proper decentralization is always only capable inside the metaverse if many communities are cooperating together and they all have stake in the bigger picture, because then they will be keeping each other in check. If you, for example, I always told to everybody from my management department, like if I'm doing something which is not proper, or it's bad for the community, or whatever it is in a negative way, make sure you point that out. We need to improve ourselves constantly, and I think that making sure that we are in the right road is really important. Otherwise, we'll get lost. And if we get lost, we may never find the right way again. So I think that proper decentralization is extremely important.
Yeah, no, I think it's amazing, man. And also the other point of keeping track, point of almost like there's so many micro legendary activities that one does on a daily basis, but most people aren't aware of those things. I mean, those things happen in real life, right? But what's cool is we can almost track those. We can include those things as being a part of a score. And like you said, your legendary journey will always live on and be remembered on the block. And someone can come back to that, and see that, right? So I think that's really, really cool. My great grandfather lived to 105. He was in the military in Peru. And so, I remember looking at his catalog of images, black and white photos. But no one remembers that stuff, right? I mean, it just stays there in his what was his old house. But it's just there, right? I wonder, I don't know if this is what you were talking about, but I wonder how we were able to look back at a gamer's or just an avatar's life in the metaverse. That record, that journey, those experiences, those epic moments, that battle that was won, that battle that was lost. I think that's really, really cool. So yeah, Santi, that's kind of it for me. I do have to jump on a call, so it'd be really great if we could wrap this up. So any final thoughts, Kristian, Santi, and then we can go on our way.
I just want to thank you very much for asking me for an interview. I'm not really someone who enjoys to to be that open in a way in what I'm doing. I prefer to be in the back end and just to work hard on the things that I see fit for my projects. And I just want to thank you very much for this opportunity to share my thoughts with everyone. I truly hope that my thoughts are useful to someone. Power to the people, folks. Let's make it happen.
Stick it to the man. And thank you, Kristian. I really admire your vision, and I hope you can get everything done, man.
Thank you very much. I will do my best, and I'm pretty sure that thousands of others will do their best as well. Thank you very much for everyone for coming.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.